First of all, I want to thank you for doing this possibility to between this program to share our researches. And my research for today is a relationship between body height and hand length measurements of both gender adolescents from region of Jakova in Kosovo. First of all, I want to thank my collaborators, Professor Fadiliuta, Mrs. Valbunauka, and Professor Milazim Kamberi. Otherwise, I started with the introduction, methods, results, discussion, and recommendation for the further researches. This study was based in the measurement from Jakova region adolescents. The aim of this study was to examine the body height of adolescents from Jakova. It is one region from Kosovo, as well as a relationship between length of hand and body height in both genders for the four municipalities from region of Jakova. They are Jakova, Decan, Unic, and Rahovec. The update of average stature among the Jakova region population is so beneficial, as well as its estimation utilizing length of hand measurements, mostly due to the reason that measurements of stature is important for many settings, like selection talents in various sports, assessment of nutritional status, determination of basic energy requirements, standardization of measure or physical capacity and adjusting drug quantity, the evaluation of children growth, predicting and standardization of physiologic standards such as lungs capability, muscle strength, glomerular filtering, metabolism, etc. The stature and hand length might also be a relevant factor that can success of some athletes in various sports. The researchers by European anthropologists a century ago, which have studied body height of the population living in the surrounding of Dinaric Alps. As the modern Kosovars belongs Dinaric racial classification, it's assumed by the authors of this study. The adolescents that live in Jakova region, it can be as tall from other parts of Kosovo and might be equally tall or less very close to the Europe's top nations. The first purpose was to examine the stature in Kosovo adolescents from Jakova region, as the authors believe this is the place where the population can reach the full potential of the Dinaric mountains. The second purpose of this research was to examine the stature in both Kosovar genders and its relationship between length of hand. The subject of this study was 193 students from the high school. 101 was male and 106 was female, with an average of 18.23 years for female and 18.29 for the male. The anthropometric measurements of stature and hand of length have been conducted according to the protocol of the International Society for Advancement of Kinanthropometry. The data was analyzed by Statistical Package for Social Sciences, SPSS, for Windows 25. The results obtained were analyzed through descriptive parameters, means of the standard deviation. The ratio between stature and length of hand have been analyzed through correlation coefficient according to the Pearson with reliability level of 95%. The linear regression analysis was carried to the examine extent to which length of hand can reliably predict of the stature. This relationship were plotted as scatter diagram for both genders. This is the first table of from anthropometric measurements of the adolescents from Jakova region. The average of stature for male was 1.79 m. For female, 1.66 m. The average of length of the hand was 19.19 for the male and 17.47 for the female. The correlation between stature and length of the hand in this study for the subject was for the male 0.543 and for the female 0.664. In the table of the three are the results of linear regression analysis where the length of hand predicts the stature, and like by the data in this table you see that the p-value is 0.0. This is the scatter diagram and relationship between length of hand and measurements and stature among two the above models. You can see that the correlation between male and between two variables. The scientific paper contributes to a very important updates for average stature and among adolescents from the Jakova region of Kosovo. The adolescents from Jakova region of Kosovo are very tall with an average 1.79.32 cm for boys. Same than general population in Kosovo with 1.79.52 centimeters, and taller than adolescents of other regions like is Prizren and Giran, and are very close like from adolescents region of Peja, Ferizaj, but not taller than adolescents from Pristina and Mitrovica. The adolescents from Jakova from the region of Jakova also very tall with an average 1.66.08 centimeters for female group. They are taller than female in general population of Kosovo with 1.65.72 centimeters, but not they are taller than female adolescents in region of Mitrovica, Prizren, Ferizaj, and Giran, but not taller than female adolescents from region in Pristina and Peja. However, this is the hypothesis that both sexes adolescents from Jakova region of Kosovo did not reach their full genetic potential yet. They have been influenced by various environmental factors like war in former ex-Yugoslavia, poor economic situation, etc. The authors believe that these circumstances had a negative bearing on the secular trends in Kosovo as well as surrounding countries. It's expected that the secular changes influencing on stature with action in the following 2 decades. The results from this study confirm that the length of hand reliably predicts stature based on results achieved for male and female from adolescents from Jakova region in Kosovo. The relationship between body height and length of hand are similar. The estimation equations which are obtained the population are substantially same from other regions of Kosovo. The results of this study confirm the necessity for developing height model for each region of Kosovo. This is the references from for this research, and thanks for your attention. If you have any question.
Thank you, Dr. Arifi. Very good presentation and very interesting topic. And if somebody has a question, very welcome to ask. Before we go further, I would like to ask Dr. Arifi. So
Yeah.
the female participants showed more correlation between hand measurement and body height. Like, I mean, hand length and body height, more than male participants.
Yes, the results are like that, and
If you go one slide further, yeah, here for instance, the correlation coefficient is, as you can see, is greater for the female than male. Of course, both of them are significant.
yes, I think this is good for many sports, for various sports like handball, basketball, and
Yes.
for various sports is good for the female.
To have, of course, to have the bigger hands would be an advantage for them to be able to perform the skills in those kind of sports activities. All right, thank you. And one more question: did you measure the hand length from the dominant or non-dominant hand?
Can you repeat, please? I didn't listen.
So, did you measure the length of hand from the dominant hand or non-dominant hand?
Dominant hand.
From the dominant hand.
Yeah.
And you think that this is going to be a, it will not affect, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Arifi. As far as I can see, no other questions. And thank you for your participation and contribution to the conference.
Okay, I hope to you good in this time, because it is the time of the one pandemic here, and thank you for your contribute to make us to be in the conference like this.
Yeah, of course, of course. Thank you, Dr. Arifi.
Regards for all of the participants and organizers.
Thank you, Dr.